We are Keys and Gears, the podcast where we give you the keys to real estate and the gears to get you there.
We break down what's really happening in the Dallas market.
And we give you straight talk that helps you buy smart, sell wise, and live well.
Let's roll.
Today we're going to talk about solar panels. Are they an asset or a liability? Bess, I know solar panels and both of our businesses are a little bit of a bane of our existence, to use a nice term.
They're an extra wrinkle.
Yes.
Is that more politically correct?
Yes. So
they're an extra wrinkle in the real estate process.
Tell us more. Tell us more about if you're a home buyer or home seller, whichever you want to start with, because it affects both of them. So
that's a great question. A lot to unpack there in that very simple question.
Yeah.
And that is, why? Are they owned outright? Are they leased? Are they on a payment plan? Are they still under warranty? I mean,
yes. Are they working?
Are they working?
Yes. Yes.
All right. The short answer, since so many people, pop on to videos or podcasts and then pop off, for those of you that just want a quick answer on yes or no, Mark and I are both firmly a thumbs down no, and that's very politically incorrect. But our jobs is to look out for your long-term wealth and home plan, and solar panels are proving to be a poor addition to a home.
More of a liability than an asset.
Yes.
And for many different reasons, but for one is the cost and the recouping of the cost vis-a-vis how long you own your house. From a financial perspective, when you put those panels on, you don't see a reward from that for many, many years, okay? And so, yes, you want to do what's right for the environment. I get that. But from a financial perspective, it's not a really super wise choice. I've also seen a lot of roof damage from the solar panels that was undisclosed or not found till the inspection.
Well, let's put a pin on that, or not even put a pin on it. Let's just stop for a second and talk
There's
about that.
There's a lot.
The roof.
Yep.
All right. So roofs in Texas are becoming more and more of a hot button topic for insurance reasons, because we do have storms. We do have storms in Texas. It's just the way it is. Why? Because Texas is not near any large body of water, at least the main part of Texas.
Our parts, yeah.
North Texas is not near a main body of water. I mention that because big bodies of water tend to help smooth out weather patterns, if you will, because they are naturally a warm body of water that helps out. Not to get too meta on this, but so because of that, roofs and the replacement of roofs, insurance companies are hyper aware of this deal. So now you have solar panels. Solar panels are literally drilling holes into your roof, but it also involves the guys and girls walking up and down on your roof. Roofs are not stairs. Right. They're not designed to handle a lot of boots going up and down, up and down, up and down. So you're losing a lot of granular pieces off the roof. You've got the holes. And so because of all that, most insurance companies, even after a hailstorm, unless it's a major, major, major hail and windstorm, are refusing to cover your roof if it starts leaking if there's solar panels present. They're using that as a get out of jail free card of not paying. So that's a huge thing that your solar guy that knocked on your door is going to forget to tell you about. Yeah. So there you go. Obviously, I get wound up because I've had some clients get stuck, some of my tribe, and I take it personally when my tribe gets hit up. I don't like it.
It's definitely an increase in your insurance costs every month. And then the question is it actually going to cover it if something were to happen? And the people that installed those solar panels are not roofers. So if you're going to install them, I would highly recommend having a roofer check on the roof after the installation to make sure that it's actually tight.
There's silicone silicone over every single one of those.
Humans make mistakes,
penetrations.
and the installers can make mistakes, and it's your liability, right? And then as far as the resale goes, it can be a little wrinkle, as you called it, in the closing process, as to are they paid off, are they leased? Can you assume the payments? And as a buyer,
do you want to assume those payments?
And if you're assuming the payments, I have to include that in your debt to income ratio. to make sure that you actually qualify.
Oh, I did not realize that.
So
Bad on me.
your mortgage payment may be too high for you to have these solar panels.
Interesting. So you as a lender look at the solar panel payment kind of like an HOA fee.
It's an additional loan that you as a buyer take on, right? That's currently not on your credit report, that it's currently not being reported. But after the sale, you're going to have to make those monthly payments, which means that affects your qualification.
That gets a little sticky.
So the best, if you're a seller, the best thing to do is to offer to pay them off at closing.
At closing.
Just be done with it, and hopefully they're not leased, because, the lenders don't like to see multiple liens on a property. That's just a no-no. Then it becomes an issue of who gets paid first if what hits the fan.
If the worst case scenario happens.
So
buyer defaults. Is
in a nutshell, solar panels are, great for the environment, but do they pay you back in time?
Fair enough. And I will also push back, just to get a little bit wild and crazy, on how good they really are for the environment per se at this time, because those of us that have been out to West Texas where there's acres and acres of solar farms, it's actually a very sad, ugly sight to see.
Right.
But I digress. And to carry on with the other things that they forget to tell you when they knock on the door and try to sell you a bag of goodies, as far as, hey, would you, and they always open this way, or generally open this way, wouldn't you like to only pay $0.05 a month for electricity?
Right.
Okay, but it's $0.05 a month plus $300 or $200 payment plan to pay for all those solar panels. But the other questions to ask your sales guy is, do you warranty the new breaker panel that will be installed? Because, by the way, that's part of the process. So they walk on your roof and remove granular pieces, but then they also replace your breaker box. And I actually had a family that last July were so excited they had gotten solar panels, and in the middle of July, their AC stopped working, and it was because the panel had a fault in it, and in the spring, we'd gotten just enough rain that it had penetrated the breaker box, and which, by the way, was installed outside the house in the elements, and they were without power for a while until the solar company could come out and fix it. Because of the government incentives, there's been quite a few solar companies come into existence. The one that they used when this happened had gone out of business. So can you hear the sticky? It got really sticky as to who was going to address this.
Even if they're still in business, a lot of times reaching them and getting a call back and getting, answers to your questions is sometimes pretty difficult.
It is.
So,
And I'm intrigued with the idea of solar. I just would urge all of you, eyes wide open, ask lots of questions. Ask lots of questions.
Make sure the risk and the reward is there. Make sure that the reward for you is outweighing the liabilities that we just mentioned. If your current electric
bill in July, maybe that's your July and August are generally most people's most expensive months, is $250 or $300, and your monthly payment for those solar panels is $250 monthly payment. So that means whether it's January or March or July, it's $250. It's going to take a long time to really realize that dream of $0.05 a month power.
Yes.
It's
so
just slow down. We love you, mean it.
Buyer beware, as always.
Be careful.
Verify things and talk to other people, and
And I've had buyers say, no, we're not looking at that house because it does have solar panels on it.
And I've had agents who counsel their buyers not to look at houses with solar panels.
Yeah, it's just it's too much of a risk.
It's happening more and more now that agents are coming to me saying, hey, this house had solar panels, we're not even looking at it. So it's happening more and more. So
well, and I mean, do we have time to talk about this too? And that is, what if they get damaged in hail?
Yep.
What if those solar panels get damaged and now they're no longer? So who pays? Who pays for your homeowner's insurance? 90% of the time will not pay to get those repaired. So is that you? Often they say there's a warranty on it. Then you come to find out the warranty is only good for 1 year. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
And it's only good. Most warranties are only good if the company's still in business, by the way. So
Boom.
Just FYI, for any warranty you buy, the question is, how long has that company been in business and
There you
how
go.
reputable is it?
So boom, you have caught Mark and me. We are naturally a positivity people. And you have found the hot topic that we will drag you down with us.
Well, and as real estate advisors, part of that is we have to point out risk to our clients, right? That's part of our job, is to protect you against the downside and point out the downside. And if you still want to move ahead with it, that's your choice. But at least we, as professionals, told you our piece, said our piece, and said, here's what we've seen in our experience. Here's what we know about, and you make the decision. We're not here to make your decisions for you, but we definitely want you to be as educated as possible. Right.
There you go.
So,
we don't mean to be contrarian. We just mean to be eyes wide open.
And all of this is our opinion, right?
Very true.
And there may be other opinions out there, which is totally fine. We can only go by what we've experienced, and that has formed our opinion. You know, yeah. So, I just had one closing that where the solar panels were on there, and I had a long discussion with that buyer about the solar panels, and so did the agent, and and so it comes up frequently because those panels have been sold quite a bit. So if you're a homeowner with it on there, maybe a little more difficult to get it sold. So before you put those on there, think about that too. As a homeowner, how hard is it going to be for me to sell the property once I've installed these solar panels?
Very true. And to circle back around to the key takeaway, is if you are a homeowner considering selling, just put into your net sheet what you're trying to figure out what your takeaway proceeds are after you sell is paying off those solar panels.
The 10,
that
15,
is the biggest get your home sold hack there is if you've got solar panels in play.
That needs to be part of it. All right. So do we have pictures for the craziness you've seen?
The craziness that we've seen this week.
The craziness of real estate. What do we have on? Oh, my.
Okay, so Mark and I are filming this in the summer of 2025.
Yes.
And we just had our first 103-degree day. So HVAC systems are in full swing.
Working over
All right,
time.
so this one is in a 1950 house.
Yep.
So what's going on here? Yes, that is black growth, which often happens because, as a reminder to everyone, how does an air conditioner work? It works by removing humidity from the air and then forcing the air back through your house. And the black growth that, with that 4-letter word that we don't talk about or say aloud.
Starts with an M.
Starts with an M. It likes moisture.
Yes.
And so that's what's going on. That's what's going on here. So things to just be aware of. Yes. Change your return. They're like $8 at Lowe's, worth every penny. But before you change it, go ahead and spend some money and have your ducts cleaned. Make sure you're changing that air filter regularly. Make sure you're taking a hose to the condenser, which is the box outside, and washing down that box. It's just all the things. And you can see how the moisture has been allowed to build up, probably because that system is working pretty hard, which also indicates they may need some additional insulation. 1950 house, you often need more insulation.
Most likely.
And that is what's causing these cracks around here is just the very slow moisture. Moisture is the things it can do to a house.
It's not the first time we brought up HVAC system. It's one of the major systems in your house. Please take care of it. Please maintain it. It'll pay you in many times over for doing that. And it's small price to pay versus replacement and fixing things, and because it's the lungs of your house, and it's breathing lungs all day long, every day. So it does a lot of work. And so just ignoring it is never the right answer. So you see any kind of dirt on there or growth on there, clean it, and
go ahead and take
those covers off, put a flashlight in there and see can you see further in what's going on, and
essentially that's it. If you see this is a symptom of something else going on
for a long time.
And you need to figure it out immediately.
This is a long-term problem. This is somebody who's not maintained their air conditioning system. So anyway, That's our podcast for today.
Look, we're all full of positivity today. What the heck?
I know. Next one will be much more positive. Hope to see you all there.
Absolutely.
All right.
See you next time.